Hi, my name is Keshida Layone, visual artist and painter. I am a guy who's creative, who is an entrepreneur, who is all about self-awareness and giving people an opportunity to explore my art within my realm of my imagination, of fantasy, of playing and making that into a reality. So exhibiting at the City Arts Salon in 2018 versus being now here in 2026 has been an extraordinary growth for me. I had literally just came to Philadelphia around that period. I just met Kenny, learning him, his style, the aesthetic of the gallery. For me, I was still growing and very excited to just show, as that was my first exhibit to show in Philadelphia. So learning a presence, learning who was in the city, also inviting people that were from New York, from my prior city. So I was very excited to show that work. And I actually started then working with mixed media more than I ever did. So for me, I feel as though the Black experience is surrounded by sharp edges. It is one of the racial and African diasporas that feels it the most. When we sleep, when we get up in the morning, when we have joy, we're constantly on edge. So it's interesting that we use the word or have that phrase, rough edges, because we're always on edge. We're always looking over our shoulder. Soft life was most important to me, not as, again, as a trend, but just as a word that should be transcend forever, for eternity. We come from a soft life. You know, one of my paintings here called Fertile Ground shows that beginning stages of what it's like to have pure joy, not to look over your shoulder, not to have that rough edge scrape the skin. And so I feel as though I want the Black experience to understand and use these words and understand that they're not just for the summertime, they're not just for when you get a check, not just when you see your favorite aunt and you're laid back and you're hanging out in the picnic in the backyard. Soft life can be just those little intimate moments that you take out of your day. So this particular family is called the Softy family. This is the dad, which is titled Mr. Softy. So he was one of the first paintings that I created when we thought about soft life and the exhibition. This is the very first piece that I worked on a year and a half ago, because this was literally the foundation of where I wanted to go with this exhibit. And I started with this, I just had this vision of creating something soft within Blackness. Again, as I said before, just creating something where it was an internal softy. A lot of people think of Black men, and I think just the culture as hard, as constantly fighting, you know, demons and things of those sorts. And I wanted to show the softness. The speckles, or the sprinkles rather, represent the joy of color and what color does. Again, knowing that we love color, we look good in color. And then also I wanted to create also that exterior of just joy, and that's where the glasses came from. Not hiding of the eyes, but more so of the enjoyment of a mood. And so yeah, this was just something extraordinary for me, where I wanted to set the pace. Also change the world is a pin that's on his jacket. It was something that I wanted people to feel that they had to do. It was something that I wanted people to figure out in their lives where they had to change. So if you notice the cherry here, you'll see the reference of the cherry in the Softy family represents joy and the euphoria of what you feel like when you taste the cherry. Mr. Softy also has spikes here on his jacket, which represents protection. Not only is he the father figure and he is the male person who's taking care of the family, but he's also in that moment of constant protection. And then I wanted to create also that softness and sweetness of a father and of a male figure with the spoon. Again, being able to, at any moment, do a soft serve and just kind of give that joy to someone else. And then, yeah, just the smile and the flower, and then also the soft light representing on the hat of a constant reflection of this is what we want to show in the world. The mother, this painting is called Be Gentle, and she's actually looking at a mirror. She's actually looking at a vanity right now before she goes out into the world. I wanted to create her of more of just loving herself. And the painting Be Gentle means be gentle to herself, but also understanding that she is protecting her heart and her soul of who she is. I added very small little nuances here, the kente cloth bow, because I wanted her to understand and for people to see as she's on someone's wall that she represents Africa and the whole diaspora. And then again, she has a spoon here, which also represents, being available and ready to, be there for someone. I think that's the point of a mother, of her being excited to just give her love and all to, whether they have children and whether they don't. She also has the cherries here that reflect, again, with the soft serve, and then her ice cream hair, which drips onto her dress. And her hands are covering, it's just literally more of protection, like Mr. Softy here. So yeah, that's what she is. This is the teen daughter, the one who really is just all about herself. This is called Play. Always, a little bit ready to do whatever she's got to do and stay connected. What I love about Play is, and then she's a teenager, is that she has all these things around her. She's got the parenting, she's got the joy of a family, and also stability. But when you're raised like that, you don't realize it. So again, I won't say taking advantage of it, but she's got this beautiful cherry that she's giving to these tropical fish here, but not really paying attention that she's also doing scuba diving, which again, in our Black community, that's not something that all children are even doing. They're not in water, they're scared of water, they can't swim. And she's taking for granted that she can do both. She can swim, she can scuba dive, and this is just an everyday for her in this beautiful world. So yeah, and she has cotton candy hair, again, representing softness and joy. As we go over to the sun, all right, as we walk over to the sun, coincidentally enough, this is called Sunflower. And Sunflower is the son of Mr. Softy and Be Gentle, and the brother of Play. He's all about pleasing his father. He's all about praying for this continued joy of a soft life. His father here, which you noticed here, he's kind of chilling here, but this touch is to let him know that it's okay. Reassure him that he can be himself and that he will always be there. Also, if you noticed here, Sunflower, he also has some cherries here on his hair. And again, I got excited making this because I just wanted internal joy. If this is in your living room or this is in your hallway, I want that feeling to always be there. Funny enough, little story that most people don't know is the background of this piece here, the wallpaper, is actually another painting of mine that I kind of incorporated here as a background. But his t-shirt here, again, is about sunflowers. If you don't know, sunflowers are a very strong flower. It's a flower that gives vitality, and you also can eat from it, and the seeds produce many things for humans. So I wanted to kind of give that here to let him know that he's always in touch with earth and nature. And I just adore him. As a son myself, I didn't have a father, and so I wanted to make sure he understood that there are a lot of male influences that are there for young boys. So I wanted him to understand and know that father or no father, there are men out there to watch over him. All right, so when it comes to fashion and texture and color, that has been the molding of who I am. I started out as a kid who just loved color, who loved expression. As they said in high school, they loved that I made a fashion statement, which I never knew. I was just actually being myself. Most importantly, I always played into who I was at that moment, and I was the future. So I was always looking ahead. That's never stopped. I've been very, very lucky to work in the fashion industry. I've styled, I've worked for Elle Vogue. I actually worked as a content director for Condé Nast. So I was in the company of a lot of different folks that were editors and so forth. And so I've taken all of that and I've actually just put that all into my work. A lot of the abstract pieces literally are inspired, I wouldn't say from, real collections, but they're things where I think about, okay, like right now we're in, spring, summer, 2026. So in my mind, when I create, I almost think of a collection. A lot of the pieces that I create are for literally those seasons, and that's why I create so much, because I'm actually trying to move into different seasons of life. And even in my, my own dress, the neon glasses, they play into the future. So I'm never now, it's always for, the next decade. That's what, Art Deco is. That's what, modern decor is. And so the pieces that people buy from me, it's not for now, it's for the future. And I'm trying to think about, what will you be doing in 10 years? How could you play into these paintings, into your life today and in the future, so that you don't have to say, oh, you know what? I had this piece so long, I'm gonna put it in the basement. I wanna switch it out. I want it to be a piece that just moves throughout your life. As you get older, as you evolve, I want those pieces to, basically stay in fashion. And so, yeah, when you think of me, think of hyper-colorific, think of the future, think of, a modern world that we don't know yet. Or as they say, Afro-future, because I'm playing into my everyday feeling for color and also being an African man, so yeah. So coming through a family and being in a family of a lot of artists, that legacy lives in me, and I feel as though this particular exhibit, Soft Life, fills me up with that. I've combined mixed media with also abstract pieces, and those abstract pieces, funny enough, they are inspired without me even knowing or even working on those pieces from my grandmother, Edna Booth. She is an art lover, an art collector, and right now, to this day, she has pieces that are up right now in the home that I've been looking at since my whole life, and not really realizing that this is something that is formed inside of me. And she's actually seen my work. She actually, has a piece, one of my pieces, in her home. And even before I started painting, I used to buy her art. Funny enough, I remember being out at African markets or, being out in the world and just only thinking of like my grandmother and how much she loved art, and not realizing that I was loving it as well as I was just buying it for her. And then just more importantly, my mother, as a poet, as a writer, as a woman who loves words, I play into her when it comes to words and wordplay. A lot of my titles that I think about, I also write poetry, reflects her. There was a time when I was young and my mom actually used to edit my poems and edit my short stories. She's also a lover of my work. And more importantly, my aunts, my Auntie Judy, also an artist, a painter, one of the first painters in my life that I've actually met. She's actually given me, so much of my art supplies that I've actually worked on these pieces, art boxes, just an abundance of things that she could actually find for me. And then my Auntie Dawnie, which is, she's just amazing. She's a big personality, and so when I talk, I think about her when it comes to diction and public speaking, representing myself well. These women have shaped me through so many different things, almost like a boy who's been in a jungle. These have been the women that have surrounded me, the woman tribe, if you will. And I'm just proud to represent them and take all these things that I'm doing every day and have that with me and in my brush strokes and my conversation and in my mind. So, yeah. Okay. Wow. I would love for people to visit this exhibition, Soft Life, and breathe in this energy that Aronde and I have created, taking in every piece, whatever that might be, whether it's the words, whether it's the butterflies, the clouds, the nature, that is in your everyday world. I think what I'm trying to bring to your world is that it's always been there, and this is just a moment in time for you to take it all in a one place. But as you leave, this and more awaits you. So if you just want to step into the actual world of plants, if you want to step into the world of calling someone that you love, to tell them about this exhibit, if you just want to call your brother or your father, someone that you might have felt a spirit when you saw a sunflower, and thought about your nephew or son or a loved one that passed away, and maybe you just want to give that family member a call. That's what I want to create, that pure joy. Calling a teenager and saying, you know what, I know it's really weird right now in life, I just want you to know I love you. Sending them a cash app of $20, $25, right? Going to a museum, taking a look at some art that you may not be able to understand or describe, looking at abstract pieces in a different way. And I think that's what's so exciting about abstract, is that, you know, it's all to what you interpret. A lot of my paintings, I name, I work on them, but people have come up to me and explained things I've never would have thought, ever. And I can't take credit for that. All I can take credit is that I gave them that space to imagine, to have that joy. And it's something that I just want people to take away and give to someone else. Don't keep that for yourself. It's almost like a great tip that you want to share. It's only going to make everybody better.